Renal failure or chronic kidney disease is defined as any abnormality in the structure or the function of the kidney. So dialysis in general is what we call a renal replacement therapy. So it doesn't actually cure any kidney disease, it doesn't reverse any disease in the body, but it is a process to replace the function of the kidney, namely the cleaning of the toxins and waste. Hemodialysis is by and large a hospital-based treatment. In contrast, peritoneal dialysis is a home-based therapy, mostly at night. There are two. You can do what we call CAPD, which is continuous ambulatory peritoneal dialysis, where you would do the dialysis exchanges multiple times throughout the day. Most patients do what is called APD, which is automated peritoneal dialysis, and this is very convenient for patients because it's done while they're sleeping. So they set the machine up, they put their fluids on, they go to sleep, and the machine cycles automatically overnight. The APD, or nighttime dialysis, is done every night, whereas the hemo is done 2 to 3 times a week, and it's done for an 8 to 10 hour period. So it is daily and it's longer, but it's done while you're sleeping, so you have that convenience. And then during the day, you're free to do your work, do your business, take care of your kids. So that convenience patients like. Peritoneal dialysis is done through a tube in the abdomen, and the fluid is instilled through that tube. So the preparation and education for patients actually starts long before they start dialysis.
When they come from clinic and we start to train them and all that, we train them to use the machine. And as the indices rise, as the urea, creatinine, and potassium rise, we then say to them, well, look, it's soon time for you to get your catheter in. So they're referred to the surgeon, and the surgeon make the determination on, when they're going to put in the catheter. They give them a date. Most of the time, patients come into hospital for 1 week. They come and they have the catheter in the first day. So the first and the second day, we don't do anything. They're just resting in hospital. On the third day, we do something called flushes, just to make sure it's working, it's not leaking, and that when we put in the fluid, that it will come back out. And then on the third, fourth day, once everything is going okay with them, we introduce them then to the machine. And once we attach them, they can attach themselves, and we are comfortable that they can look after themselves at home. Then they will go home from there, and we will when they go home that first night, we always ask them to call back, or we will call. And so the transition is basically an easy one, because at every step there is someone to help you, to get on with your dialysis.
So the program is very demanding in terms of what we have to do to ensure the health, and the quality of life for our patient, and at the same time to make sure that they have adequate supplies to do the procedure at home.
The peritoneal dialysis route presents for us the lowest cost of treatment, and hence the reason why our more stable patients and patients presenting with certain kinds of medical conditions, our preference is to place them on peritoneal dialysis. This is an opportunity where, having diagnosed that they have kidney problems or renal failure, here's an opportunity for you to take responsibility for your care in your home setting.
This would have been 22 years I've been on hemo, and two complete years ago I changed to the PD home dialysis. The interesting thing about it is that when I was on hemo, I tended to be somewhat slim. But when I started the PD in about a year, I gained about 11 kilograms. And it put me back to what I would call my normal weight. Because when I was doing the hemo, I would consider myself on the weight.
He was diagnosed in 2012 with focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. Most part, he's on a no salt, no processed food, no whole wheat, no oranges, no bananas. There's certain foods he cannot have at all because his body cannot process them. In the beginning, it was hard because learning the machine and the procedures, and everything has to be sanitary and you have to do it correctly and precise to avoid infection. But now, been doing it for for over a year and a half now. It comes like second nature. I can almost do it with my eyes closed. Now that he's on PD, it has been better, a lot better.
We at Brighton Stokes felt that it was better if we did the deliveries directly to the patient's home as a service to them. The reasoning behind it obviously would be ensure that patients are comfortable, they don't have to lift heavy goods in and out to a car, and we really want to ensure that they have the supplies they need when they need them.
It is a very viable option for people with kidney disease. I'm happy to see the response. I'm happy to see the outcomes by and large for patients on peritoneal dialysis, and that's our drive to try to expand it as an alternative to hemodialysis. Give patients a little back, their life back.
So it's like a second kidney, a third kidney that you have in your body working for you. So even though your kidneys have failed, you still have another option in using the peritoneum to have your dialysis so that you can still be healthy.
So the issue of personal responsibility is perhaps singularly important in redressing the scourge of these chronic non-communicable diseases.
Managing your diet can sometimes be complex for patients on peritoneal dialysis. So it is very important that they do get their information from a reliable source, and the clinical dietitian is there to lend support as part of the healthcare team.
You have to have a positive outlook, because when I was first diagnosed, I tried not to become depressed and despondent. I try to keep in good spirits all the time.
It is not a native kidney, so this dialysis machine will do some of what a kidney will do. But you must appreciate it still is not your natural born kidney, but you still get the added benefits of living a healthy life. And as long as you do what you are supposed to do, when you follow your dietitian's instructions, the instructions of your nephrologist, the PD team, you can live a long and prosperous life on dialysis.
I could personally attest to the fact from my dealing with over a number of patients on PD, they enjoy a better quality of life, they have more freedom, they have less restrictions, and they're happy, so to put it, they're very happy with the treatment option.
So the benefits of PD, in summary, would be improvements in terms of quality of life. So for patients who are still active, still being able to play sports, we have some young patients as well, they can still attend school. Some patients who run their own business, so they can still attend to the business. And also for those patients who still travel, we have a number of patients who travel as well, and they can travel back and forth freely. Through our travel program, they will have their goods waiting for them, the supplies waiting for them. And also for patients in terms of, we mentioned quality of life, for patients not having to spend long hours on a machine at QEH waiting, long waiting periods, or for a relative to them come and get them back and forth, etc., and still be productive members of society.